This is a very typical question that you need to be able to do, but when you see this question, you just remember you may need to use discriminant. Now, why I say you may need to use discriminant is because a lot of times students don't know when to use discriminant. Okay, sometimes the other questions don't really need to use discriminant. Later we'll talk about that. But anyway, this graph when you plot into GC, it'll be like that. Like that. Okay, this is a rational function graph, which you already know how to find the oblique asymptote when we do long division and the vertical asymptote. All right, am I right? So it's not really hard to see why. Now, can you see that there is a void here? There's no y value here. There's no y value in between here, but then here there's a y. From here onwards, when it touches the minimum point, you'll have a y value here, right? And here as well. Now, so some students will say, Mr. Gan, why not we just use dy dx? Of course, you can use dy dx, but they say use algebraic method, so you can't really use dy dx. Some schools will not allow you to use dy dx, okay? So, we have to find a way to solve this. So how do you actually find the gap here, which doesn't have the y? That is what they are trying to ask. You understand? So what we need to find now is, actually, we know that there are no y value here. No y values. Okay, and essentially what we want to find is y value can take would be here lah. Okay, any issue there? What I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna create a horizontal line. Okay, this horizontal line here, I'm gonna let y equals to k. Understand that? And essentially, I'm gonna use secondary school method. You remember this method here where we touch each other. This is b squared minus 4ac equals to 0. Then you cut twice will be b squared minus 4ac more than 0. And if it doesn't cut, less than 0. Now, before that, when can we use b squared minus 4ac? Is it always the case you can use b squared minus 4ac? This is important because some of the questions you may not need to use b squared minus 4ac, but this one it's sort of like a cheat way. I tell you before you even reach the destination. Okay, when do we use discriminant? This one you must be able to answer. When can you use this discriminant? Not really though. If it's the curve like that, or let's say the curve is very good. So you can only use discriminant when the equation that you're solving is quadratic. This is important. Okay? Because discriminant comes from the quadratic formula. Okay, so sometimes students keep thinking that they can just use discriminant as and when. No, some of the questions actually don't need to use discriminant. You just need to use gradient can really. Okay, so there's a very classic example which I will talk when we're doing revision. But anyway, this part here, just remember that you can only use discriminant when the equation you're solving is quadratic. Okay, or some form of quadratic. So this is let y equals to k be a horizontal line. Understand? So then what we're going to do is just sub y equals to k into c. Right. So then what I'm trying to solve is actually, I'm trying to find the intersection between this and this one here. Okay. So you imagine what we are doing is we are varying our k so that we want to just nice touch the curve. Then so this is what we are doing. We're actually just doing that. Then from here, I'm gonna just sub into c, then that will be k. equals to 2x minus 1 over 1 minus x. Then you just expand. Then 2x minus 2x squared minus 1 plus x. 2x minus 1. Okay. Then this equation that we're solving, then it will be this. Can you try and solve this one here? Thank you very much. Yes, yes. So this is wrong because I made a mistake here. Yeah, my ink suddenly ran out. So this is plus 3. So it's minus 3x, is it? Plus 3x. So bring over is minus 3x, okay? Yeah, okay, great. So this case here, because we want, since there are real solutions for y, this will mean that there are real solutions for a for x as well. So in other words, b squared minus 4ac is at least 0, right? You want to touch once or twice, right? Actually, this one don't really need to write in an exam, but you, for your understanding, you just try and write it down. Then b squared minus 4ac. So this case here would be, of course, 2x squared. Why my ink keep running? 0. A minus 3 squared minus 4 times 2, 0. Then solve these inequalities. Am I right? So this inequality here, we know how to solve in secondary school. You can expand, but can I show you a faster method? This part here is actually, you can just use this. When you see this kind of perfect square, you can just perfect square like that. A squared minus b squared. This is much faster than you expand and try and solve it. This will be this. Root A is 2 root 2. Okay. When you key in calculator to the graph here in your answer, to check your answer, right, what you do is you go to your graph, you make sure this is the value that you find, 5.82, and then this one, the y value here. So this should correspond to this point here. So this one here should be 3 plus 2 root 2. And this is 3 minus 2 root 2. Okay? Key in calculator and check.